Can you guess which one's the old one? Hey there! Last time we tore into my Lenovo T60 because my fan broke and we removed the cooler. But this time I have promised you guys some upgrades. Additionally, we also have a more powerful CPU, the Intel Core2Duo T7200. It's the fastest chip that this motherboard can support due to the front-side bus speed being limited to 667 MHz and more powerful CPUs requiring a 800 MHz front-side bus. Now, as you can see, these coolers look very similar. On the right, we have the old one, and on the left, we have a cooler from a Lenovo T500. Now, there are a few differences, most notably being that one, over here, there's a slight little bump where this place sits lower than this one. This one's for the GPU, this one's for the chipset. On here, on the old cooler, this is just one flat plate. Now, usually in forums and other places, people have gone to quite some lengths to even out this little bump. Now, as you can see on here, this cooler came with what I presume is some sort of thermal pad, and it seems to be just the right thickness to bridge that gap from the cooler to the thermal pad that's on the chipset itself. There are also a few differences on the top side if you compare the two coolers. As you can see, on the old cooler we only have one big flat heat pipe for the CPU. On the new one we have two, a medium-sized one and a smaller one, and we have a similarly sized singular flat heat pipe for the GPU. Now the fan, as you can see, looks very different between the two fans, and we also have these little fins on here which, as far as I've read, can interfere with the keyboard a bit, but you should be able to just bend these out of the way. We're going to be trying that out later. Now, there's also one tiny detail that is different between these two fans. The old fan had this little clip here for the Wi-Fi antenna. The new one does not, so we're gonna have to route it a bit differently. But besides that, these coolers are basically identical. But as you can see, the new cooler is quite dirty. So I'm just gonna clean it up a bit, and then I'm gonna try installing it and also put in the more powerful CPU. So see you later. Oh, come on. Okay, it wasn't off by one. It was just a bent pin. A single slightly bent pin, so it wouldn't certainly socket all the way. But after a bit of bending, that's fixed now. And there it is. Now I'm gonna try installing the cooler. Now for the GPU, I will also be putting on a tiny little thermal paste just to additionally give it a bit more meat to bridge the gap in case there is any. And I know that this is gonna be controversial, but I don't care. It is done. Now, as you can see, it's in. It works surprisingly well. I did have to remove these three little couple fins from the very upper left of the heatsink to make it go in there. But I did manage to keep the other three. And the fan cable, of course, isn't combined like on the other one. It's not wrapped, so it was a bit fiddly to get it in here, but it's managed quite well. The only thing is that this thingy, this bracket that puts pressure on the GPU is, well, bendy because of the block that is not on the original cooler. But I did manage to get it in, and it looks really good. Now it's time to put it back together and see if it works. It's alive! As you can see, the CPU is detected, and if we just take a look at the sensors, they are really good, and the fan isn't even spinning. Now this first number should be CPU temperature, chipset, something else, and then the GPU is the fourth one. These temperatures are really good. I'd say the mod is a complete success. So let's just put it back together and then we'll come and wrap it up. Well, it works perfectly. Now, it wasn't too perfect though. I do have this left over now. I did try installing it with this plate, but I don't know if it's going to be visible on camera. Yeah, it is. It bent upwards because it's just that little bit too thick and the keyboard would bulge out. But after I removed it, the keyboard sits flush with it and there's no play at all. But yeah, I'm really happy everything works. Temperatures are also really good looking. If you take a look at it again, it's perfect. And the fan isn't on. But the big problem is the coil whine is now too loud, but I don't think there's anything you can do about that. Also, if you remember from the last video, this laptop was missing its stickers, so I just got a few. And yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I hope you guys maybe learned something or that this was interesting. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.